Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, April 10th. My name is Karen, and this is BobbleHeadKnits. Welcome, everybody, to my knitting vlog. Thank you for all of you who sent me messages wishing me a happy birthday. It was a lovely birthday and a lovely trip. As many of you know, I went to Ireland, and I'm back now, but I was gone for 10 days and took a few extra days off just to recover from that. And here I am. All right, let's jump right into things. So today we are going to have a rather long issue because not only do I have a lot of acquisitions to share with you, I also am going to be doing the state of the stash for March. I also have the first quarter drawings for the Yarn Stash Smash 2026 winners, and I don't know, just a lot of whips and finished objects and all the things. So let's go. All right, first of all, sip of tea. I have a new mug, a Hello Kitty mug. I have switched to tea for the time being instead of coffee, and I'll tell you why later when we get to life stuff a little bit. All right, let's start with finished objects. So if you have watched my Ireland video, my Come to Ireland with Me video that I posted, this was Wednesday, then you have seen this already because I finished it in time to take it with me on my trip. And this is my muscle burl. I'm not going to put it on because I don't want to mess up my hair. If you want to see me wearing it, go watch that video. If I figure out how, I will put a little link up there somewhere. All right, there it is. This is, I think it was like my 8th muscle burrow, so I've knit quite a few of these, and I love them. So if you don't know what a muscle burrow is, it's a pattern by Yuzel Latigue. I knit mine with Mustache Yarn, Must Match yarn set in the colorway Glacier, and basically it's a long tube. I'll take it out again, even though I just put it together so you could see it. Hang on. Woo. You knit this long tube and then you fold it in on itself and you have a lovely hat. And in my case, it's a fingering weight sock yarn and self-striping sock yarn. And I knit it with a US 4. I knit about all the way down to about 10 grams of yarn and then did the decreases and bound off. I still have about, like maybe 3 grams left. Hang on, I'm trying to put the hat back together here. Yeah, so you fold the hat back in on itself, which I apparently am having a hard time with. There it is. And then you can wear it like that, or you can fold it up, wear it slouchy, wear it tight to your head, whatever. There's such a versatile hat, such a great hat. If you're a beginner and you want to knit this hat, don't be put off by that pinhole cast on that is in the pattern. There are many ways to do that cast on, and if you just go look on YouTube, there are many knitters who show you how to do it. And it's just a great hat because you just knit. So it's very easy knitting and very warm. And I had this in time for the trip. My husband also has one that I had made him for his birthday, and we were walking around Ireland wearing our muscle burrows. And it was funny because we went into a yarn store in Dublin called This Is Knit, lovely yarn store. And the woman there immediately said, "Oh, you've got muscle burrows." So yes, there's my hat. All right. One finished object. So that used 97 grams of yarn, just a little bit left over. I don't know what to do with that other 3 grams. I'm sure I'll figure something out. All right. Okay, that one's done. Hang on. All right, next up, while I was gone, I took a couple sock projects. I really only worked on one sock project though, and even that, I don't work on it not much. Most of the knitting you'll see here, I had either done before I left or I did when I got back. So this is just a pair of vanilla summer weight socks, and I knit them out of Wool Addicts Footprints, which was yarn I had in stash from 2023. And, oh, the Mustache Glacier yarn was in my stash from last November. So this is the, just a basic vanilla toe-up sock. And they're cotton weight. And here they are. Hang on. There it is. All right. I just wanted some cotton socks, some, just socks for summer, basically, when I do wear long pants. So, or if I'm wearing, I don't know, I'm not sure what, but I love this yarn. It was easy to work with, very colorful, very beautiful. And I used amazingly well, because I didn't do the heels, toes, and cuffs in a different yarn. They're all the same yarn, as you can see. I used, I believe it was 63 grams. Let me look really quick here. Hang on. My iPad's over here. That's why I keep looking over here in case you're wondering. Yes, I used 63 grams. So I could probably knit a pair of shorties or something, another pair of socks with the leftovers and just use something else for the heels, toes, and cuffs. I might do that. We'll see. All right. I saw these and I was like, I need to get some Birkenstocks because these would look great with Birkenstocks. I don't know if I will or not. I've had Birkenstocks before, not the traditional ones, but some sandals, and they didn't really work for my feet. But I understand they have the soft bed now. So if any of you have the Birkenstock soft bed, let me know if you like them. So yes, okay. I'm going to make a clutter because I'm just throwing these on the floor. Actually, you know what? I'll save myself a lot of noise because I will just throw them that way. I took them off the needles through the sock blocker on my dog's dog bed. Okay. All right. Next up, let's see. Where are we here? I'm going to have to take another sip of tea, not coffee. All right. A little sip of coffee here. In case any of you didn't know, my very first job ever was at a Hello Kitty store. It sold Sanrio. It sold the Hello Kitty brand back before it was super popular and available everywhere. So this was in the 80s, like early 80s. So yeah. Okay. All right, moving right along, let's talk about whips. Okay, well, the other sock that I took but did not knit on were these, the Rye sock by Tin Can Knits. And I really didn't knit on it at all. Most of what the knitting that you've seen, that you'll see here that I did, it was only like maybe an inch. I did while working this week because I worked 3 days this week. So when you saw it last, I was right here. This is the foot because I'm doing a cuff down. And then I only really did that much. So yeah, not a whole lot, but that's okay. You know, socks get done when socks get done. So these socks are knit out of, hold on. Oh no, I don't have it listed. Hold on. I do have it listed, just not on what I'm looking at. They're knit out of this. This is Rum Punch, and let me make sure I have the right brand. The color is Rum Punch. The pattern, or the yarn, is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply self-striping in Rum Punch. So yes, these are just some more socks, most likely for me. I'm not sure. We'll see in the end how they turn out. They might end up in the gift box. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna put these back up on the project door. These I had just packed with me and I had them out and they needed some easy knitting to get back into work and all that, and that I could do while I was working. So those are them. And yeah, they're going back on the project door. All right, more tea. Keep forgetting I'm not drinking coffee. I don't know that I'm gonna go back to drinking coffee. We'll see. I love coffee, but coffee doesn't love me. Yeah, or actually it's the sugar I put in the coffee. Yeah, okay. All right, next up. I have been knitting on my daughter-in-law's cardigan, the Snowbird cardigan by Heidi Kiermar, since August. This was meant to be a Christmas gift. I bought the yarn. She picked out the yarn, all that. Let me get the bag, hang on. So I've been knitting on it since last August, and it's been slow going, partly because I'm not loving the pattern, and then once I got past the parts I didn't love, I just got to the tedious parts. So it's going slow. But I made a lot of progress actually this week. And I'm going to show you the back because it is meant to be worn with the pearls garter stitch on the outside. So I'll show you the back. There it is. And I have 2 sleeves. I'm down to the point here, if it's rolled up so it's hard for you to see, but it's much longer than it appears. So yeah, I'm about halfway through the body, and it is growing fast. And I've told myself when I got back that I would do 30 minutes a day on this. I'm actually doing more a day on this because I really want to get it done by summertime. And I think that's going to happen. I think the biggest risk here right now is that I might need to buy another skein of yarn. So the yarn I'm using is Malabrio Rios in the color Scorpio. I originally, I think about 5 or 6 skeins of this. I had knit the top of the cardigan and the sleeves one time and did not like how the sleeves looked because I had knit the sleeves flat like the pattern said and then stitched them up. I'm not good at doing mattress stitch. I should practice, but this was not the sweater that I wanted to do it on. And after I did it, I was like, I don't like that. I'm gonna go back, rip it out, knit the sleeves in the round like I would have normally done, and be happier with it. And so I had all of the first go around sitting on my dining room table for the last 6 months. And I've ripped most of that out now because I've decided I'm gonna salvage that yarn because I am really getting close to being out of yarn. So this is what I have left attached. And then I pulled out most of the yarn. I still have a little bit to go, and I've got another one. So basically I have like a skein and a half left. So hopefully that will do it. If I need to go buy more yarn for it, I will. I'm trying not to though. We'll see. As many of you know, I'm doing a low buy year. I'm only buying yarn if I'm traveling or if I need it to finish a project. So far, I've only bought travel yarn, and it's been from Ireland, and I'll be showing it to you shortly. All right. That is going much faster because I'm not fighting it. I'm just like, do 30 minutes a day. That's all you have to do. And I'm finding that I'm actually doing much more than that. So I'm happy with it so far. I mean, it's not that I don't like the pattern. It's just at the beginning it was very confusing, and then once I got it figured out, it's just become very tedious. So I'm kind of using that as my mindless knitting that I do while I'm working. So, all right. And when I'm working, I can knit just a little bit, and it's only when I'm reading long documents on my computer that I can do it. And that's only part of my time working, so that's why it's going slow. All right. That was the one project that I carried over from 2025, so I would like to get it off my needles. All right, next up, the other whip I worked on this week. Hang on, I'm just looking to see if I missed anything. I did not. Okay, hang on here. I do have it in my birthday gift, which my husband got me. redesign bag. Loving this bag. It works perfectly. All right. This actually currently has 2 projects in it, and I'm not going to show you the one because I didn't work on it, but I will show you this one. All right. So this is my Aurora Cabin Shawl by Stephen West. So many of you know Ange at Yarn and Yarn. She is, she not only did the 12 cast-ons for the 12 months of 2026, which I'm participating in, but she started a Stephen West knit along. Just knit whatever you want, Stephen West. Doesn't have to be finished, doesn't have to be new cast on, anything like this. So on a whim, I cast this on. I am not a shawl knitter because I don't really wear shawls, but I've decided that I need to knit a few shawls because one, I wanted one when I'm sitting on the couch, and one, my lovely mother-in-law, Francie. Hello, Francie, if you're watching. So she is, she has one of my Stephen West shawls that I gave her, and she would like another one. Not necessarily Stephen West, but she would like another one. So I cast this on mainly because I already had the yarn. I had bought the yarn back when this was a hybrid knit along. I don't even know. It was 2022. That's right. It was 2022 hybrid knit along. And I had got the yarn. I had wound it up. It was all ready to go for the hybrid knit along. I don't know what was going on in 2022. I didn't cast it on though. And then I was regretting it because I really love the yarn. So I just decided when Ange was saying, you know, come join me in this, I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and join her because I have the yarn and I feel like casting on a shawl. So this is it, the Aurora Cabin Shawl. This is a bit obsessive or compulsive knitting, I guess you would call it. I don't know what it's called, but basically I just can't put this down. It's coming along. It's not as much as I would like, but I didn't take it with me and I really only started it like a week before I left. So it's coming along. Look at that. It's like a big peacock. I love it. So this is surprisingly Irish yarn. Life in the Long Grass is Irish yarn. And the colorways, let me see if I can remember. First of all, let me put some glasses on so I can look. I got my reading glasses that apparently I own, but I didn't know I had them. And I found them right before I left, so I'm wearing them. All right, so what colors am I using? Hang on, hold on. Have to go onto my Ravelry. There it is. Okay, this is the Aurora colorway. This one is Northern, I think. I might have those mixed up, but I'm pretty sure this is Northern. Particle, Polar Frost, and Voltage. All right. So yes, this, I am really enjoying this. The only thing, I did not read the pattern. I do not read patterns in advance. Bad me. But I did not read the pattern in advance, and I did not realize there were cables in this. I do not like doing cables, okay? I'm just, it's fiddly. I don't like having that third little cable needle. So I mucked up the first row of them there, this first row. And then I got it right. I'm not gonna go back and fix that first row. If you look closely also, and if you really know the pattern, you will notice that my colors are a bit off. I picked up the wrong color in one place. I'm not gonna tell you where, it doesn't matter. No one knows. I mean, if you were to sit down and really study the pattern and look at this, you would know it. Doesn't matter. Look, my attitude, I learned it from Stephen West, is that don't don't stress over this stuff. And that's what I do. I don't stress over it. I'm just going to leave it. This is for me. So these mucked up cables right here, oh well, the rest of them look great. So yes, I have a couple more rows of this kind of knitting to do. This, I don't know if you can see, but just these raised garter bumps. And then I will be doing just back and forth garter and without the cables and all. So it'll be okay. These are, this, it's coming along very well. Very, very happy with it. I knit on it a little bit every night and just enjoying it. It's a lot, it's growing into a lot of stitches. So it will expand quickly here soon. So yeah. All right. I love Sue and West, but one, I don't wear enough shawls to do the mystery knit along. I don't like the mystery knit along because it stresses me out. And I don't want to be stressed out. And I like to know what I'm knitting before I knit it. The mystery aspect just doesn't appeal to me. However, that said, I will be doing a mystery knit along this month, but I'll tell you about that in a second. All right, let's move right along. I know some people love mystery knit alongs, and they're fine. I've done a few, but yeah, whatever. All right, I need to do the spin the wheel thing to see what I am knitting next. So I'm gonna do that really quick. Actually, let me just pause you here because I am just gonna do it and then tell you what number I have. I also have a message, I'm looking like this, that just popped up on my phone and I need to go deal with that. So I'm gonna pause you, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. My doctor's office canceling an appointment I had for later today. I'm kind of annoyed because I've been sick. Oh well. I'm well enough that I'm here vlogging, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But yeah, just kind of irritated me because I've been sick for a few weeks and I told them about it a few weeks ago and they were not helpful and now this happened. Okay. All right, let's move on. So I did the random number generator while I was grumbling about the doctor's office. And I came up with number 5. So if you don't know, I'm doing the yarn and yarns. Well, I told you just a few minutes ago. I'll tell you again. I'm joining in with Ange and many of you in doing the 12 cast-ons for 2026. What this is, Ange casts on 12 projects at the beginning of the year, and she encouraged you to join in. And they're projects where you cast them on and with no intention that you have to get them done in any time frame. I love that. And I joined in for the first time and I had such a good time. I will be doing it again. I'm not gonna stress about the number of whips, it's just what it is. But number 5 on my cast on list was the confectionery cardigan. And let me tell you a little bit more about that. That is a pattern by Margaret. She just goes by Margaret. My friend Shauna is Shauna Stitches. Hi, Shauna. Knit this, and she was the first person that I had seen knit this, and her sweater is just gorgeous. So I decided to cast that one on. I did use a advent that I had from Arcane, or no, not Arcane, Chromatic Yarns, BFL High Twist. It was a 24-day advent from, hang on, I'm blind and I'm fighting it. I'm trying to see how long I have had this yarn in my stash. I don't know. It's old yarn though. It was stash yarn. In addition to all the other things I'm doing, I'm trying to use all my old advents. So I cast this on, and let me show you where I am on it right now. And I am glad that I pulled this one because I have not knit very much on it. I cast it on and then didn't draw it again. So I've really only got one stripe. But I'm excited about it. Of course, I'm in the middle of a row. Let's see. just don't even know when the end of, there's the end of it. But here it is, and it is lovely. It's going to be like a rainbow cardigan. And the interesting thing about this is that the stripes are vertical instead of horizontal. So yeah, I'm glad I grabbed this one because I was thinking I have many of the 12 cast-ons. Like, I keep drawing the same cast-ons when I do this spin the wheel thing. And so I'm glad that I drew something different. So I will work on this week. I work on these for a week at a time. Eventually I might do longer, but for now, a week at a time is more than enough. So I am also using Arcane Fiberworks, just a black yarn that I have all the yarn. Sorry for the crinkle. I have them all in these bags. But I'm also using this for the cuffs and the hem and collar and all. Just a black Arcane Fiberworks yarn. Also for my stash. Yay me. Yes, okay, so that, keep out. All right, while I was gone, because I did finish those vanilla socks, I want to cast on another pair of socks this week. So the ones that I finished came out of my variegated yarn bag. So I'm going to draw doing the lucky dip out of the variegated yarn bag. I try to keep I don't want any empty sock needles. So if I have a empty sock needle, I'd immediately cast something on with it. So, all right, this is a Fordham & Mason, a lot of crinkling, sorry, bag that I got a few years ago from Fordham & Mason in London. And I just have all my variegated yarn that is sock yarn in it. It lives back there, we're on the floor. I hate that I have yarn on the floor. They're all bagged up, they're safe and all. I just hate that I have yarn on the floor. That's one of the reasons why I'm not buying a lot of yarn, because I'm trying to use up all this yarn for that reason. All right, I'm just gonna dip in, and I'm gonna dip down deep because I know what's on top and I don't wanna do that. And I'm blindly pulling something out, and I got it, and what is it? Oh, so pretty. Okay, let me get this bag out of the way, and then I can talk to you about this yarn. This yarn, I have to look up the name because I forgot. It's been in my stash so long, I forgot. Hold on, I get my glasses out. And I'll tell you the name, and then I'll show you the yarn. It is Tint the Sleeping Air by Mona Yarns, Dan at Mona Yarns, I believe that's his name, a UK yarn dyer. And I don't have on this how long it's been in my stash, but it has been in my stash a long time, let me tell you. I have 2 balls of 100-gram yarn. So the reason I have 2 is because I was going to knit a cowl with it, and I'm not going to. I'm going to do socks. I'll just knit from both of these, and then I'll have enough for another pair of socks. So yes, beautiful, beautiful yarn. Look at that. So these will be my new cast on, and I will be casting those on probably later today. Probably just do another vanilla sock, honestly. I just don't see any reason, especially with that yarn because it's so busy. I don't need to do anything else with it, right? Like, anything else will be lost on it. And I don't even know that I'll do a contrasting heels and toes and cuffs. I think I'll just knit the whole thing in that color. All right. Okay, so that will be cast on. I will need to find my empty sock needle, which I think is somewhere in my basket over here. Basket of chaos. All right, more coffee or tea. All right, next up. Next week, also, I'm going to be joining Shauna and a lot of other people, but Shauna from Shauna Stitches and is doing well, it's not really hers. It's Sarah Sharon from Imagine Landscapes is doing a gnome knit-along. She's releasing a pattern. It's the Berry Cozy Gnome. I will be joining in that. I'll show you the yarn I'm going to use in just a bit because it's part of my new acquisitions. So I will be casting on for that, Shauna. I specifically bought yarn for that. Actually, I'll show you the yarn now because we are at new acquisitions. I wanted to do a DK weight gnome, and just because I like the bigger ones. Like I have Charlie the gnome right there, or Chuck the gnome, and I just decided I would do a bigger one, and I didn't have quite the yarn I wanted for that. So when I decided to do it was right before we were leaving for Ireland. I was like, well, I'll just get yarn there, and that was good because I was debating either buying sock yarn or buying some random yarn, not sock yarn, sweater yarn for myself. And I didn't really want to buy a sweater's quantity for myself, so I got this instead. I still got a sweater's quantity, but it's for something else. I'll tell you about it in a bit. All right, so in Dublin, we went to, This Is Knit, as I said. They're in their personal brand of yarn is called Townhouse Yarn. They call it Townhouse Yarn because their shop is in this old, I think it's a Georgian townhouse. I don't know, it's a beautiful building, and there's a bunch of little shops in it and restaurants and stuff. So we went in there. Lovely people work there. But I got these. They're DK weight. And first of all, I have hot pink. I think this is called blush or fawn. I guess I could look it up, right? These are, by the way, 50-gram minis, DK weight. And that is one of the reasons why I was like, this is perfect, because the pattern calls, if you're going to do it for DK, you need like at least 40 grams, and I was able to get it. So hang on, let me just tell you what this colorway is so I have it right. I know that pink one was hot pink. Hold on. I'm getting there. I have a lot of yarn, as I said, so you know, it takes a bit. Oh, it's the Townhouse Yarns Fleet Street 50s. So that's what it's called. All right, hot pink. Then I had, this is blush. And then this is fawn. So the body of the gnome will be this, and then those together. So yes, that's one of the acquisitions I got. They are wound up because, and they're a mess. I thought for some reason that the knit-along started this past Wednesday. It starts this coming Wednesday. So they're in my Hawaiian shaved ice bag. All right, so that's ready to go. That was acquisition number 1. And then, all right, this is not an acquisition. Okay, also at the same place, I got a sweater's quantity of yarn for my husband's sweater. I want to knit my husband a sweater. Let me just tell you what the name of it is here. The Single Malt by Maxim Shearer, from Le Gerson. And I bought a sweater's quantity that I have shoved in this mattress sheet bag case. All about recycling, so yeah. And I bought a sweater's quantity of, this is Studio Donegal, Irish yarn. And I'm just gonna pull one out, I'm not pulling them all. Here it is. If you hear something, that's my husband making noise. Look at that. It's like a tweed. And let me read it to you. This is worsted weight. It's Aran worsted weight. They're very similar. 100% wool. The shade is 3619. Hopefully you can just see how beautiful it is. It's a beautiful, like, kind of a blue, turquoisey blue with little, you know, yarn specks in it. It's gorgeous. We fell in love with it as soon as we saw it. And so I bought, what did I buy? 1, 2, 3, about 7 of these. And that should be more than enough to knit his sweater. As many of you know, I had problems running out of yarn in the last sweater I knit him. So that's not going to happen this time. So this is Studio Donegal. Bought it at This Is Knit in Dublin. All right. All right, let me put it back in. I've been saving this mattress back yarn because I knew that it would come in handy to hold yarn. The mattress, it's basically one of those cases you get when you buy new sheets. I was like, oh, I could use that. So it worked great. And since I've run out of storage space, it really worked great. I won't cast this on until I get one of the other big projects off. Maybe my daughter-in-law's sweater, we'll see. But then I'll cast this on. And yeah, very happy with that purchase. I did, if you go back and watch the video I posted Wednesday of Ireland, you'll see that I was eyeing this very similar yarn, only in this beautiful like fuchsia color. I didn't buy that yarn. I controlled myself. So, all right. Next bit of yarn is, this is actually Aran weight yarn, and it was bought at the Weavers of Ireland, I believe, in Galway. Those stores are everywhere in Galway, though. They sell like sweaters and things. But I wanted to get some softer yarn because that Studio Donegal is a little rough. But I wanted some softer yarn so I could knit something for Atticus. And Atticus is my grandson, by the way. And so I found 2 skeins of this Aran weight. Where's my glasses? And the colorway is, what is the colorway on this? I don't see a colorway, but it's like a seafoam green, and it's beautiful. And I got 2 of these. I don't know when I'm going to knit them, but it's 100% pure merino wool and super soft. Yes, yes. Very happy with that purchase too. All right, I have more yarn. I told you I was going to buy Life in the Long Grass. I did. I also bought some hedgehog fibers. I did not buy them and carry them home though, and let me tell you why. While we were there on, I think it was like it was the last full day we were there. We were in this, Kinsale is the name of the town in Cork County, or County Cork. And I had planned to go to this yarn store there and get this. And I had figured out what I wanted, the whole thing. Well, my husband and I went on a hike that morning to a fort, and it took much longer than we thought it would. And so my husband, by the time we got back, we had to get our luggage from our bed and breakfast, and then we were getting on a bus to take us back to Cork, and then we had to catch a train to go back to Dublin, and we were on a very tight schedule, basically. By the time we got back, I did not have time to go to the store, which was just a few blocks away. So we agreed that I could just buy the yarn online and have it shipped home. A little cheating, but I bought it while I was in Ireland. So the yarn is coming. The hedgehog fiber is coming, I believe, today. And the hedgehog fiber, I bought a bunch of minis because there is a shawl that I want to knit with it, possibly for my mother-in-law Francie, we'll see. And then the Life in the Long Grass, just Life in the Long Grass. I found some Life in the Long Grass at This Is Knit, but I did not get it because I thought, I'll get it later in the trip, and then I didn't. So it's coming also. So I'll show you what it is, what it looks like once it comes. Some of it I actually bought as a gift, so I might not have that to show you. I may just ship that out to the person. So we'll see. All right. One other thing. Okay, two other things I got. I got myself a book. I did not get the book while I was in Ireland. I was going to, but then I was like, do you really want to be carrying around a giant hardback book? No, not while traveling. So, oh, there's my knitting needle. Okay, sorry. My other sock knitting needles right there. All right, I had wanted this book, and I had thought that it wasn't coming out until June or July, and then I was watching Emily at Memily Makes. She's a UK vlogger, knitter, crafter, and she had thought the same thing, but then one of her friends pointed out, no, the hardback's out. You can get the hardback book. It's just the paperback that's not out. So before I left, I went and found the hardback, and I got it delivered, and it is this 52 Weeks of Scrap Yarn, and it is a beautiful book. It really is. There's so many gorgeous patterns in here. I mean, without showing you that, look at that. It's gorgeous. Just all kinds. One of the reasons I wanted this, there's a couple more. I usually don't like knitting out of books, but I'm trying to be open to knitting out of books because I do have knitting books. So, but one of the reasons I wanted this is that I'm going to make next year the year of scrap knitting, and I have a couple other scrap knitting books. Of course, I have a ton of scrap knitting patterns and all, but I saw this book and was like, one, it's beautiful, and two, I had a good use for it. So this is Lane Publishing. They, they do the magazines or whatever they're called with patterns. So I just treated myself to a birthday gift, and I had a very good birthday as far as that. I got a lot of cool things and a lot of things that, I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. I don't even know if you can see it. I hope you can. There. All right. Yeah, I love this book. So this was a gift to myself and very happy with it. Okay. Other acquisitions. Yes, there's more. Not a whole lot. Okay, the last, a few little things that I got that I'm just going to show you because they're cute and they're knitting related. I got these cute little stitch markers. I don't need any more stitch markers, but I just thought they were cute. And they'll remind me of Ireland when I use them. There's a shamrock in there. You can't see it. Some hearts, things like that. They're kind of jingled in there. I got those. Then I got myself a row counter. It's a little mushroom. That was also at This Is Knit, and it's a row counter, and it clips onto your knitting, and yeah, beautiful. All right, so now let's talk about the gifts I got for you all. And then we'll jump into doing the Yarn Stash Smash 2026 first quarter drawing. All right, hang on. So I thought, I'm going to Ireland, I should just buy yarn to give someone. So I did that, and I got a couple different yarns, and they're both chunky and they go together, so you can knit something with it. So let me show you. The first one is from Townhouse Yarns, and it is the Farm to Yarn Chunky. Isn't that beautiful? It is a blend of Romney, lamb's wool, and BFL, 100% Irish wool. And the color is Wild Groove. It's gorgeous. So I thought that would pair nicely with this. They're a little bit different texture. This is a bit rougher. This is a bit softer, so you don't have to pair them, but they're both chunky, so you could. This is Atlantic Coast Yarns, spun in Ireland. It's a luxury merino chunky. Brandon is the the base, and it's 121 yards. Also, the colorway is Bandon, not Brandon. Oh no, it is Brandon. Fuchsia. I thought those look nice together. So one of you, whoever, or if you entered into the Yarn Stash Smash first quarter giveaway on my Ravelry page, will be winning this. So that said, let's talk about Yarn Stash Smash 2026. So myself, along with Mandy at Mandy Von Knits, we are hosting Yarn Stash Smash 2026, and it is a year-long make-along. We are encouraging everyone to knit from stash, and we're having quarterly drawings on both of our vlogs. So Mandy already did hers, and this is mine. I am going to send those things, those 2 skeins of yarn, to one lucky winner. My dogs are barking, sorry. If you want to join in on this, all the instructions are on the website, www.yarnstashsmash2026, or no 2026, yarnstashsmash.com. There's a link below also. Both Mandy and I, who is, her YouTube is Mandy Von Knits, but she really is Diary of a Sweater Knitter. She and I have forums set up on our Ravelry pages. We're both doing our own drawings, we're both doing our own giveaways, so you can join in. And the second quarter drawings are already, or the forums are set up, and all you have to do is finished objects with the majority of the yarn coming from stash. So you can go check out all the instructions, all that. Now we had I, on my side, had 260 entries for the first quarter. I'm going to do a random number generator. Out to me. You can email me at BobbleHeadKnits@gmail.com. Send me your name and address, and you can also reach out to me on Ravelry if that's easier. I won't reach out to you. I will never ask you to pay any money. I'm going to ship this wherever, whoever wins it, I will ship it to you wherever you are in the world. So I will do the drawing part. I don't know who won yet because I haven't done the drawing. I'll do it while I'm editing this and pop the winner in here. And then I'll probably go on to the Ravelry queue or on the general chat and let you also know there. But watch here. Here is where you mainly should be looking for it. All right. I will give you, we'll say till next weekend. Well, no, I'll give you 2 weeks to reach out to me. And then if you don't reach out to me, the yarn will be up for grabs next quarter along with something else. Or no, actually I'll redo a drawing for the yarn. I'll do it again. Whatever. Okay. Are you getting tired of hearing me talk? All right, really quick, let's do State of the Stash for March. Taking a sip of tea. Cut it right that time. All right. Really quick, State of the Stash for March. Technically, I did buy yarn in March, but I'm not counting any of my birthday yarn or any of my travel yarn in March. I'm counting it in April. So I am saying I bought no yarn in March. I'm not counting it in March because it was too hard to remember, like, was it March or was it April? Yeah, so we're counting it all in April. All right, so I did, however, knit enough to get 2.42 skeins of yarn out of my stash. That is the equivalent of 934.6 yards or 200 125.04 grams, or 0.5 miles. Not a huge amount, but enough. I started the year with 459.43 skeins. I am down to 457.01 if you don't count all that yarn sitting behind me. I obviously have a lot of yarn that will go in the stash this month. The numbers will not be great in April. But again, as I said earlier, my goal is not to buy yarn unless I'm traveling or I needed to finish a project. And I don't have any other trips planned until November, so hopefully I don't give in. All right, so stay at the stash. Okay, I think that is all the knitting news. So if you've made it this long, congratulations. You did better than I did. Otherwise, let's move on to life stuff. If you're not sticking around, I totally get that. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe and you come back and visit me again. If you need to reach me again, as I said, BobbleHeadKnits@gmail.com. If you are my winner for the first quarter of Yarn Stash Smash 2026, send me a message with your address and name. All right, life stuff. Well, I had a great time in Ireland. I won't go into too much detail because if you want to know how things were, you can go check it out on the video that maybe I'm linking up there. But if not, I posted it Wednesday. We had easy travel. Everything was super easy. I did get sick, but it's kind of a chronic thing that I have. I had it when I left. I was nauseous, vomiting, not feeling great. I've had this off and on for a few years. I messaged the doctor when it got really bad in Ireland, and I said, please, can you tell me what I should do? The doctor's nurse said no, she could not because of state law. I had to go through a special department. I had to go get help in Ireland. You know, I was not going to stop my vacation to go get help. It was not that bad. So instead, I ended up saying, just make me an appointment for when I get back so I can finally get this addressed. The appointment was supposed to be today. Earlier, when I paused, it was to read that message saying the doctor had called in sick. The doctor I was seeing is not my doctor. It was just whoever could see me. All I really wanted was a referral to a specialist. So I'm going to be reaching back out and just telling them, stop wasting my time. Just give me the referral. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a little twitchy there because I was like, are you kidding me? They've been giving me the runaround for 3 weeks. Okay, there might have been some projectile vomiting involved, almost in a cafe in Dublin. Yeah, that's what finally drove me to go get help. All right, I'm fine though. I'm just having to revise the way I eat, and because I've had it happen before, I kind of know what to not eat and what to eat. So one of the things that I am not having is coffee. It's not so much the coffee, but I like to put all kinds of sugary syrup in my coffee. I think that's the problem. I'm diabetic, as many of you know. It's just a little bit too much. Don't tell me to go on sugar-free because I will not do it. I do not like sugar-free anything. So I did switch to tea. It's working fine. I'm not putting anything in the tea. It's just black tea. And I'm just eating more, I want to call it diet food, but just very low-fat, boring food. I don't think it's my gallbladder, though, because I had a scan of that done, and I didn't have enough gallstones in there to be creating issues. So I think it's something else, and I think it's related to my diabetes. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. What other things happened while we were gone? Not a whole lot otherwise. We got back on Friday last week. I had the weekend off, had Monday off, and then I worked for 3 days. And then today is Friday again, and it's my Saturday really. So I'm going to go here in a bit. I'm going to go to work out, do Pilates. I was going to go to the doctor, but now I'm not. And then, yeah, just things around the house. Before I left, I had I was working on a video for you all that ended up not happening. I just ran out of time and I wasn't really thrilled with the footage. It was kind of like, how much could I knit in a weekend? So you didn't miss much. You saw it all. I also had put a bunch of cold season seeds in my planters in the backyard with some potting soil, indoor potting soil. I learned that's the key to planting in containers only. And I came back to a bunch of little baby plants, tons of them. We're gonna have so many plants this summer, but they're early season crops, so I'll fill in with some other things. Yeah, so this weekend I'm gonna kind of work on those, clean that up a bit because I need to trim out some of the plants so that the rest thrive. I also need to get a teepee. A trellis basically for some peas to grow on because those are coming in fast. And well, I guess that's really it. Yeah, so life, right? Life goes on. All right, TV and books. I finished You Are Here by David Nichols. It was a book about, it was actually a UK writer, and these two people, well, this guy who his wife has left him decides to go on, sorry, here going wild. But he has taken up hiking and he hikes all over the UK, and he, along with some friends, decide they're going to go on this hike across this coast to coast hike in the UK. And one of the friends invites another friend who has recently, she's gone through a breakup, but it's been a while. And they're two lonely souls and they meet on this trip and they fall in love. Or something like it. So that was good. I finished that while we were traveling, so I left that book. I like to leave books in the wild. I like to just either stick them in little libraries or leave them in cafes and stuff for people to find. I just think that's kind of cool. So yeah, I left that there. I'm now reading The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. It's okay. I'm not thrilled with the writing, but yeah, people like that book, so I'm reading it. TV wise, I'm trying to get caught up on The Pit. I started Outlander before I went, and I'm enjoying that enough that I told my husband about it, so he started watching it. So I quit watching it while I'm doing the walking pad so that he can get caught up and then we can watch it together. So instead I've started watching Big Mistakes. It has, is it Dan Levy? Can't remember his name, but it's the son of the Levys. And I've only watched one episode, but so far so good. All right, I think this is long enough. I hope I haven't bored you. It's good to be back again. If you're a winner of the Yarn Stash Smash 2026 first quarter drawing, please reach out to me, and I will be back next week and talk to you all next week. Bye.